I just finished mixing and mastering an album. Now I need to release it. So I want to get my music onto Spotify, iTunes, all of these streaming sites. And that's what we're going to look at in this video. And this is a new artist or new project that hasn't been on any of these sites yet. So you'll get to see what it looks like for a new artist. Now, one thing to note is you can't directly upload to Spotify or any of these sites. You're going to need a distributor. And for this video, I'm using DistroKid. I've used them quite a few times in the past, and I know they're super quick and easy to get my music onto streaming sites. So that's why I'm going with them. Plus, they also give you 100% of the royalties that you earn, so they don't keep a percentage. And they also have a lot of other cool stuff in there, like marketing materials and much more. But for this video, we're just looking at getting our music onto streaming sites. First, let's look at what you're going to need before we can start this process. And you're going to need some music. Of course, this can be a single, an EP, or an album, as long as you have at least one song ready to go. Also, you're going to need some album artwork, and this should be high resolution stuff. So they recommend a minimum of 3000 by 3000 pixels for your album art, but they will accept lower. I think mine's just 2000 by 2000, and they will accept that. And then you'll need a distributor like DistroKid, so you'll have to sign up to one of these options here. They have the Musician, Musician Plus, or Ultimate. It kind of depends on how many bands or projects you plan on releasing music for. You can start with one and then upgrade to another. But if you're just working on one band or project, the Musician is good enough, $22.99 billed annually. If you use the link down in the description, you're going to save 7% off of that. So if you plan on doing this, be sure to use that link. And once you have all of that ready to go, you can sign into your DistroKid account, and then we're going to go to Upload Music. And you can see right here, it shows you all of the services that you can upload to. If for some reason you don't like one of these services or more of these, you can uncheck them, but why not just leave them all checked off? You can see Roblox betas on there and Snapchat's on there. I don't know why by default they're unchecked. I'll just leave them unchecked anyway. Now, number of songs. So I'm uploading an album and it has 10 songs. So you would just choose however many you need. Has this album been previously released? No. Artist band name. So you can see there's a band in there. That's the one I normally release music under, but this one is going to be a new band. So you put your band name or your name or whatever project name in there. And if you haven't come up with something, they even have this random name generator. So you can use that if you still need a band name. Now, is this artist already on Spotify? By default, it's saying yes, but no, this one is not. So if you've released music through DistroKid or through another distributor and you already have a profile on Spotify, then you can put that artist URI here, and that ensures that it's going to the same profile. Even without that, it seems to get this right, but sometimes it doesn't. So it's ideal if you have that, but this one's going to be completely new. And same with Apple Music, completely new. YouTube Music. Nope, not on there. No, I don't have an Instagram set up for it yet, and I don't have Facebook set up for it yet. Release date, I'll just go with today's date. Record label. Now, I'm not sure if this is available to the Musician plan. I think this might be just for the Musician Plus or Ultimate plans, but if you have that available, then you can put a record label name in there if you want. Album price, again, I'm not sure if this is available for Musician. It might be. I have the Musician Plus plan, so you can change the album price in there if you want. I'll leave it at $9.99. Why not? Language is English. Primary genre. Let's see what we have in here for primary genre. I'd say punk for the primary, and then secondary, we'll just say rock. So there's rock. Put that in there. And it shows this is optional, but if you have that option, why not take it? Because it might help with a stream or two here and there. So why not? Now, album cover. And you can see there's some things in here. The recommendations are the 3000 by 3000 pixel JPEG format. And it says there, it's just a recommendation. They will accept most image sizes. The store will reject artwork that contains a website address, so don't put your web address on there, your Twitter name, or any images that are pixelated, rotated, or are poor quality. They'll also reject artwork with prices or store logos, so don't put an iTunes or Spotify or any of those logos on there. And don't reuse the same artwork from previous albums. So change it up at least a little bit, maybe the color scheme or something, if you must use similar artwork. Now, you also need to own that artwork, so everything in it you need to own. The stores will reject your artwork if it contains images that you found online that you don't have the explicit right to use. So with all that out of the way, we just click here, and then you just navigate to the folder that has your album artwork in it. And here's mine right here. So I'll click on that, click open, and there's my album art right there. Album title. All right. Make sure everything's spelled correctly. You don't want it spelled incorrectly because it can be harder to have things changed. It is possible, but it is kind of a pain if you need to change spelling. And then you would just go through with all of your tracks. So song title 1. And you can see, don't include feature artists there. So if you have a featured artist on your track, don't say featuring so-and-so in the song title. If it's a cover song, don't include the original artist name and no year or dates unless that's part of the song title. Here's where you can add the featured artist right in this section here. So if you do have one, you could say yes, and then you could put their name in there. I don't have one. Add version info to song. Now, what I like to do with this, I'm not going to do it for this one because this is the album, but if I'm releasing a single and I'm not too sure about the mix or the master, and I think I might want to edit it later, but I just want to get it released, then I will say other, and then I'll put in there something like demo or single or something that later on, if I decide to make another version of it, I could release it under a different version. So album version or something like that. And then we need to upload our audio. So I'll just click here and just make sure everything's in order. Yep. And they do offer the Mixia mastering through DistroKid. It is an additional charge. So if you go with that, just know it's an additional charge. But I believe you get your first master for free. So you can check that out if you want. Spatial audio, nope, this one isn't like that. Songwriter, cover song, I wrote it and did everything for it, so that's me. If somebody else wrote it, you would put that in there if it was a cover or something. Songwriter's real name. And you can see you can choose just the music, lyrics, or music and lyrics. So for me, I'll just put my real name in there. And you can add more people in here if you need to. Explicit lyrics, nope. Is this a radio edit? No. Instrumental? No. Preview clip start time, which is kind of cool. Some of the services, they offer a preview and you can choose where you want it to start and stop. I'm just going to let the streaming services decide. Track price. So for the individual track, we've already set the album price at $9.99, but if you wanted to change the individual track, you could do that here. You can see there's some options. And again, that might just be for Musician Plus and Ultimate. I'm not sure if the Musician plan allows you to do it. It might. But that's it for song 1. Let's move on to song 2. And the same thing here. We just went through it all. So now all we have to do is upload the song. There it is. Track 3. See, it's important to get that spelling correctly. There we go. All right, and then we have all this stuff. It's all the same, but it might change for different songs. You might have different music and lyrics writers for different songs. So, of course, you got to go through one by one. Some songs might have explicit lyrics. Some might not. Some might be instrumental. Some might not. Some you might want to charge less money for if they are just a little quick instrumental at the beginning of the album or an intro or outro, something like that. Song 4. If you can't tell, this is a horror punk project that I did here. I was going to release it under my original band name, which is Silver Rocket Surfers, but I felt this one was so different that it kind of deserved its own thing. It didn't really fit in with everything else that that band or project that I work on is doing. So then I just upload that. And no for all of this stuff. Song 5. Again, make sure things are spelt correctly. It is in this case, which is good. And we'll find the audio. There it is. All right, so song 6. And there we go. For this one, there is kind of an explicit lyric. If you want, you can check out the song. I'll put a link in the description and you can see if it is explicit or not, but I think they might consider it explicit. So that's it for that one. Track 7. And we'll upload this. Almost there with all of these. All right, so I've just gone ahead to track 10. I've skipped all of them for you. I put them all in there in my real time, but for you, I skipped them because it's the same thing over and over again. So here's the last song for the album. Again, I need to spell things correctly. There we go. And we'll add the last song. All right, we are done with this. Now you can see there's some extras here. I never go with any of these, but maybe you want to. And let's see, social media pack, get notified and paid when your music is used in content on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. We automatically detect matches and pay you ad revenue from videos that use your music. You can see this is $14.95 per year plus 20% of the platform's ad revenue. I think you can go back and add this later. So if you notice one of your songs has been picked up as a meme or something, you can add this in because you're probably going to be getting a lot of spins that way. Discovery pack, add this album to the global databases that people use to match music and artist information. It's only 99 cents per track. It includes all of that. You can choose that if you want. Store Maximizer. If there's new streaming services that come on board, they will add these to those new streaming services. Without this, it's just going to go to those streaming services that you've chose today. Leave a legacy, $49 one-time non-recurring fee. And that means DistroKid will never delete this album, even if you cancel your account or your credit card's declined. So you can choose to delete it at any time. If for some reason you don't like it anymore and you want it taken down, you can do that, but you can pay the $49. This is the only one that I've ever debated adding. DistroVid is DistroKid video distribution. If you have a video that you want to distribute, you can do that here. Loudness normalization, you should have that done during your mastering, but if you want, you can do that. Build an artist website with Bandzoogle. Again, you can choose that if you want. I've chose none of this stuff. All right, so now there's some mandatory checkboxes. I selected YouTube Music, so I won't email DistroKid later asking, why did you upload my music to YouTube? And make sure you know that you have done that. Now, I won't use promo services that guarantee streams or playlisting, even if they claim they're organic and real streams. Those things are all bogus, so yeah, don't use those. I recorded this music and am authorized to sell it in stores worldwide. Yes. I'm not using any other artist's name in my name, song titles, or album title without their approval, and I have read and agreed to the terms of the DistroKid distribution agreement. So you should read those things and check them if you agree. Click continue. All right, I'm missing a songwriter name. Let's go back up here and fix that. Track 6. Ah, there it is. One of my favorite songs on the album, too. There we go. Now, I can go down to the bottom here, click continue, and you can see it's uploading all of our tracks. Now, what I'm going to do is fast forward, and we'll skip all of the time that it takes to actually upload these tracks because it's going to take a little while. All right, while that's uploading, I just want to mention that you can do all of this stuff from the app on your phone. There's a DistroKid app, and you can upload albums. You can check the spins and stats on various platforms. You can see how much money or royalties your songs have earned you, and you can also withdraw that money into your bank account. You can do all of your distribution stuff right from there. I'm doing it from a computer because I like doing it that way, but if an app works better for you, you can do that. Another thing I should mention is you can see it's taking a while for these tracks to load. That's because they are uncompressed WAV files, and that's probably what you should be uploading, or if you're on a Mac, you can use AIFF files. Those are uncompressed. You can upload MP3. They will accept it, but it's a lesser quality. So you want to upload the best quality of audio for your album or single or EP or whatever. And WAV or AIFF is probably that best quality, not MP3. But if you don't have access to the WAV or AIFF, all you have is an MP3 for some reason, then you can upload it. They're not going to say no. And again, they're giving you that option to enhance your sound or do the Mixia mastering if you want, but you don't have to do that. You can compare the original with the enhanced. This is kind of giving you a listen, but I'm not going to do that, so I'm just going to use my original versions. And hooray, your music is on its way. It does take, I don't know, usually around 5 days for it to start to show up. Some of the services, though, like on Instagram, I've noticed that it arrives very quick, maybe the next day. YouTube, I've noticed sometimes even a couple hours later, you'll find it on YouTube or the next day. But it can vary with different times of year, so how busy they are, how many other people are uploading music, that can all change the timing of when your stuff gets released. It has been getting quicker though. I've noticed that. You can see here it says for Spotify, new music will take at least 5 business days to go live. So if you're waiting on Spotify, that's how long it will probably take. It says here Apple Music and iTunes often publish music faster, so sometimes the same day, but not always. But one thing you can do right away is share the Hyperfollow page. So if I click there, I've got this Hyperfollow page and I can share this instantly. And what it allows people to do is pre-save it on Spotify. So you can see I just pre-saved it. And when somebody pre-saves, you're going to get their email address to add to your email list. So when you release more music or you have something exciting to share, you'll have their email address. And one thing that's really important before you release your music is mastering it. So that is something that we talked about, and you can use the Mixia service on here, or there's other AI services that you can use. And I actually went through and checked out a few of them and compared them. You can check out that video right here to see if there's one that might make sense for you. There's even some free options in there. Now, if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching. For Audio Tech TV, I'm Zane. Keep creating. Fist bump. Thumbs up.